What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Keto Pizza Battle Royale. Last week we had the almond flour and the cauliflower crust, and those both turned out great. Check that out if you get a chance. This week we're diving in and we're going to look at a chicken crust and the fat head dough crust. Stick around and I'll show you how we do it. This week we're doing a chicken crust, yes, chicken, I said chicken, and also a fat head crust. All right, to start today's challenge off, we're going to start out with the fat head pizza dough recipe. It's pretty simple, just a few ingredients. So let's talk about them. First we have 1.5 cups mozzarella cheese. Next we have 3/4 of a cup of almond flour. Next we have one large egg, and then next we have 2 tablespoons of cream cheese. So that's basically the ingredients. You can season it however you like. You can throw a little bit of Italian in it, Italian seasoning, garlic powder, things like that, which I'm sure I'll do later on, but that's the basic recipe. So first of all, it says to mix the egg and the almond flour together, so we'll start out by doing that. And it says you can use a food processor to make it a little fluffier, but I'm just going to go keep it simple and just mix it up in a bowl the best that I can and get a little gooey dough action going there. And then nothing really hard about this. All right, we got that. So I'm gonna let that sit over here to the side, and the next step is to mix the mozzarella and the cream cheese together in a bowl and melt it. So like I said last time, you'll want to use a glass bowl or some kind of good microwave safe bowl, but we'll throw that in there and go stick it in the microwave real quick. So all right, let's go melt this and I'll be right back. All right, I just pulled this out of the microwave. It's hot. I give you a little tip about how to keep from burning your hands in the previous video for the pizza challenge, just a cotton glove and a latex glove. But let's add the rest of the ingredients into the cheese and we'll get it all kneaded up and go from there. Like I say, I try to keep all my recipes fairly simple, but man, I love pizza. I've always loved pizza, so that's why I'm doing this little series on all these pizza crusts. But we'll see which one wins at the end. How's that? So I'm just going to kind of twist this up and knead it up best I can in here. This is almost like the first recipe with just the almond flour and the mozzarella, but this is adding eggs to it and the cream cheese, so we'll see how that works out. Try to get it mixed up really well. All right, I have got a ball of fat head pizza dough in that bowl. So let's grab a pan and it'll be lined with parchment paper. All right, I've got my dough all mixed up here. So what I'm going to do, I found out if you wet your gloves a little bit, you know, the little trick with the gloves, make sure you put it on parchment paper and you can press it out or roll it out with another piece of parchment over top. But I'm going for the old rectangle pizza, old lunchroom pizza. And like I said, that is hot, so the insulated gloves help. And I'm really looking forward to seeing how this tastes. All right, there's my little personal pizza. You can increase the size of this, and like I said, you can make this a lot neater. But I'm going to poke some holes in this with the fork and get it into an oven baking at 425, and then we'll pull it out and decorate it up. You can see I've got it all pressed out here. I've sprinkled a little Italian seasoning on there, and before I go any further, just want to mention this product. It's by Fresh Jacks, and this is my first time trying any of their seasoning, so I'm going to discover if it's good or not. But I do like the fact that for each one of these boxes, this was the keto box. For each one of these boxes you buy from them, they donate a meal down in their area. So, you know, it's a product with a cause. What's not to like about that? Fresh Jacks is organic, and this one is keto. So I'm going to try out the toasted toasted onion. I'm going to sprinkle a little of that on here and see how that goes, but I'll talk more about that in an upcoming video, I'm sure. But I just wanted to try it out today, and I wanted to show you a good product maybe and see what happens here. Straight out of the oven, I transferred it over to my little cutting board here just to make it look nice. But yeah, it looks like one of those Stouffer's pizzas from right here, but we're going to slice it up and give this a try. This is the Fathead Dough Pizza, and we're going to try it out. All right, it's taste test time. Here we go. The Fathead dough crust. You can see some browning around the edge. The bottom of it is nice and brown. I don't want to dump my toppings off, but you can see it. Yeah, let's see how it tastes. That's good. I don't think I ever had a pizza that wasn't good, but that's good. All right, that has more of a traditional crust texture to it, mouthfeel. Feels more like a real pizza crust. Holds up well, tastes great. I mean, that onion seasoning I put in it was really good. I can taste that in the Italian, but you season yours like you like it. I'm really just going based on the simplicity and the taste, and the kind of the texture is kind of the format that I'm using in deciding this. But so far that one's ranking pretty high, and I stick around, we'll do the chicken crust and I'll give you my verdict for this episode. I'm gonna give you another bite of this for lunch before I start my second pizza today. All right, the second pizza I'm making is the chicken crust pizza. And so we've got a pound of ground up chicken, we've got a half a cup of mozzarella, and we've got a quarter of a cup of grated Parmesan. I'm just using Kraft. I'm sure freshly grated would be better. And I've got the same spices that I put on the last piece of pizza, but feel free to spice your pizza with what you like. If you want to use basil, rosemary, all those good things, that'll work great. I'm trying to keep them the same for mine so they'll taste sort of the same with the seasoning, and I'm trying to top them the same as well to make them kind of even except for the crust. So we're going to mix all this up and go get this in the oven. So just going to dump everything in and use the tools that I've got available to mix it up. All right, just mixing this up, and while I'm mixing this up, man, the very first pizza I ever made, I can remember it, and I was in home ec class in junior high, and the class, we was on teams, and everybody made up a pizza, and we used, I guess, the Chef Boyardee crust and things like that. And anyway, my team, we made this immaculate looking pizza. It was awesome. We were so excited, and we got that thing in the oven, and well, lo and behold, it never cooked because we forgot to turn the oven on. So everybody else was sitting around enjoying their pizza at the end of class, and we had to wait until the next day. But yeah, that was my first pizza experience. But all right, that's well incorporated. I'm going to get my parchment lined pan over here and make a crust out of it now. Alright, we got our pan here. I'm gonna dump this out in the middle. Just like this. And listen, if you don't use parchment paper, it will most likely stick. I mean, parchment paper is one of those little miracle tools that you just kind of need when you're in the kitchen. So, but let's go ahead and flatten this out. This is already, I can already tell it's gonna make more than the other one, but that's good. So I'm going to try a different method this time because of the stickiness of it all. I'm going to just press it out this way here with another piece of parchment paper and see how that works. I hadn't really done it this way before, but hey, I'm learning too. I'm not afraid to try new things, and you shouldn't be either. Man, there's so many good foods, good recipes out there. And the purpose of my channel is not to reveal some earth-shattering new recipe to you. It's just to show you that I'm a blue-collar guy. I work in a factory. I have no culinary experience. In fact, I don't even say the word culinary that often. But I'm just trying to show you if I can do it, anybody can. That's the purpose of my channel in a nutshell. So, and try to encourage you along the way, because I know that this journey we're on is tough, and I know people get discouraged and they get sick of eating the same old stuff over and over again, but hey, there's no reason for it. There's so many good things out there. So, all right, and I'm gonna peel this away. That works much better. Look at that. That was a lot better. So that's your pro tip today. Don't do like I did in the first one, do like I did on this one. So now I'll square the edges up a little bit just by folding it and doing this. And I was first introduced to a chicken crust recipe by my buddy Mike. He told me about these pizzas a while back when I first started my journey, called Real Good. It's a company called Real Good. And man, they made the best little frozen pizzas, or I thought they were good anyway. And so that was my first introduction to the chicken crust, and then they quit making them for whatever the reason. So I'm excited to try this, and from what I can tell, what other people have said that have eaten this is don't go slack on the seasoning because it is bland, they say. So I'm going to take their word, and I'm going to really spice mine up with that Italian and onion just like I did the first one. Let me flatten that just a little bit more, even it up a little more. And while I'm doing this, I just want to encourage you to subscribe to the channel. I'm all the time doing crazy things like this on here, and sharing my own personal journey. I've lost over 128 pounds doing keto so far. Kind of a bit of stalemate right now, but my journey's not over, and as you can see, that looks pretty nice there. So we're gonna go bake this on 400 degrees for about 30 minutes, and we'll come back and I'll finish telling you my story. So yeah, while that's cooking up, to finish my story is, yeah, I started my channel as a method of recovery from alcohol and food addictions and things like that. My sponsor told me I needed a hobby, so that's how I got started making these videos, and I enjoy making them. It takes up a lot of my time on the weekends and keeps me occupied, and it's really rewarding. I really want to just help people along the way, and so yeah, that's my story, or part of it. And you can go back to the very first one and my very first video and see my whole story. But all right, here is the chicken crust fresh out of the oven. Just want to thank Ann from the Verta community for inspiring me to try this one. She always chimes in with some good advice to people that's trying their low carb journey. So thanks, Ann W. You know who you are, and we're gonna dig in and see if it's as good as you say. Chicken crust pizza. If you can look at the bottom, hopefully you can see that that is brown. Nice. I did follow the advice. If you read the comment sections on some of these things, which I encourage you to do. You can see some good tips that people offer. So about halfway through the baking of this, I flipped the whole crust over. That way I had a nice crispy bottom and a little bit of crispiness on top. So without much further talking, let's get into this. Okay, first things first, this is very close and better than the Real Good pizzas that I was introduced to a long time ago. So Mike, I know you're not a big almond flour guy, but man, I'm telling you, this right here, good one. And it's going to give you your protein for the day. A lot of times people that are on keto struggle to get their protein limits. This will help you with that. It tastes great. I'm very pleased with it, and I'm going to try it again down the road. It's close, but I think I like the Fathead one just a little bit better because it's got more of a real pizza crust texture to it. But this here is really good. Like I said, I've never had a bad pizza. This will fill you up too with that chicken crust. So yeah, throw it in your toolbox. If you like variety, you can go through all of them and try them out, just like I'm doing, because I'm freezing all this stuff up and taking it to work. Now I have to admit, I shot that video several days ago, and I've been eating leftovers at work all week, and that chicken crust is really filling. I mean, it'll fill you up and you're full. I still like the Fathead crust the best so far between the two. But that chicken crust is something to be said about how filling that is. It'll take away your hunger pains for sure. Speaking of pizza crust, check out VertaWorks. Denise over there, she's doing a review of different crusts. She's going a little more in depth with hers, so I'll put a link in the description. You can check that out as well. And plenty of options here. So hey, enjoy your pizza, and until next time, may the Lord bless you.